Sup team, real general question here. What if you made something? Now again, that is super duper alley-ooper general, but I mean it. What if you made something, created anything? You would probably subconsciously or not be inspired by something. Whatever you make would indirectly be in something else's image, something that came before it. But nobody really thinks about that unless they're doing a deep analysis. The general reader or watcher just looks at your work. Some may like it, some may not, and some may be a lot more vocal about their opinion than others. But what if everybody constantly compared your work to whatever inspired you? What if they acted like its quality was dependent on how much it adhered to whatever inspired you, even if your vision is entirely different? My alarm is going fucking crazy, because it knows I'm about to spit heat. What if SpongeBob SquarePants was clowned for not being like the Laurel and Hardy shorts that inspired it? That comparison in and of itself, on the surface level that we're talking about, doesn't even have much merit, right? Nobody asks that question, ever. Because that would be just pretty annoying, right? That's part of why so many people and creators just disregard comments like that. They're so easy to dismiss by just letting creators have derivative yet harmless fun. Before we begin, big opinion piece alert before we get into the weeds here. Keep comment discussion civil. I know how this gets. I'm experienced in this field of canon debate, okay? Please, be nice. Don't be dumb and mean. Civilly disagree. Thanks. We're walking on landmines and Legos here. But anyway, sometimes those discussions get angry, passionate, vile. Imagine Laurel and Hardy old gens stoning SpongeBob new gens to death for even thinking of enjoying, quote, uncanon content, which, by the way, uncanon would be not like fucking Laurel and Hardy. But now that I think about it, before we begin, we really gotta define what canon even is, don't we? Canon is a fairly simple concept. I'm sure you know what it is if you clicked on this. Canon works stay as closely accurate to whatever work they're based on as they possibly can. Canon is also a noun, as in works can have, like, a canon, quote-unquote. That just means their official universe. I'm assuming we, again, all already knew that because you guys are a smart pack of cookies, but that was just to cover all my bases. Now, we can continue. Look, I don't know how to get to the point with this. We're kind of dragging here, so we're talking about canonicity in Undertale!
Well, this stinks.
Look at this. This thing. This image is what sparked my absolute yearning to create this video a long while ago. This picture has just as much pure vitriol poured into it as a goddamn chud jack. This is hate incarnate. Now, of course, I only jest, but still. Man, oh man, look at it. This art perfectly encapsulates the discussion we're about to have today. It is the best showcase of one of the most radical ends of the canon debate in the Undertale community, calling disbelief a genuine blemish on us that still cultivates, quote, slop to this day, and a logical mess that would fit in better at the shit-throwing and smearing competition than the Undertale history books. Shame on the masses for liking it too. Covers that base. Now, this video isn't going to be me going over popular fan works and why those fan works make truckloads of sense, because I do have a point to prove here. But if you would give me the grace, let me just say that Disbelief did try to make sense of itself, okay? For example, Phase 3 was fueled by Papyrus' hallucinations. No one was, quote, revived. That's a common misconception, but I love Disbelief. Maybe there will be a Disbelief Clay sesh some other day, but that's not the point here. It still doesn't make a lot of sense. But I want to address all of the points this image brings to the table, because as I mentioned earlier, this image does a great job of encapsulating people's gripes with Undertale fanworks not being canon enough. First things first, let's go over the argument for logic. The big L. If somebody's making an Undertale fan work, it has to make sense within the context of the original game, according to many people. If they absolutely 100% would not make their work accurate and make sense, then it is a waste of artistic talent. I've actually heard that complaint, by the way. I know that sounds extreme, but I'm telling you, I've heard these grievances in the depths of many old Undertale Discord communities. A great handful of people really do care that much about this stuff, believe me. But to that point, I just say, who cares? Okay? I hope you guys don't feel gypped by my argument for this basically being so simple, because that's really what a lot of this chalks up to, man. It's just, who cares? Toby Fox isn't going to come and give us lashings and spankings for not portraying his characters to a T, so why should we have to? I also have the same answer for the other point, that people should feel dumb for enjoying this sort of fan content. Just, who cares, you know? Let a fella enjoy Dust if they want to. Now, I can't deny, I do find concepts like that really funny, but are they genuinely hurting anybody? Nah. 6 Dust Sands is not real and cannot hurt any of us, so we should leave him and his followers to their own devices. Different strokes for different folks. Now, I hope it's clear that I'm not saying Fanworks should try as hard as possible not to be canon either. What I'm saying is that people can and should continue to create whatever they want. Again, as long as it's not hurting anybody. If somebody wants to try and make something as accurate to the game as possible, hell yeah, more power to them. But if somebody's creating a work for the heck of it, then why treat it under such a scrutinizing hypercanon lens? Obviously, interpret works however you'd like, but there's no reason to get so hateful in the author's faces about it. So, yeah, biggest point here, just to start things off, is who cares? Who cares? But that'd be really lame if I just left it off at that. So on that same token of people being able to make their fan stuff as canon or fanon as they want, I also want to discuss how the pressure to be canon can and has held people's work back in the past. Canon pressures especially impact large, well-known products because, well, their creators have more eyes on them, and those creators understand that they have more eyes on them, and more eyes means more mouths. 2 examples come to mind when I think about canon pressures. Hard mode Wonderful Idea and Dusttrust. Oh yeah. We're going into AUs, baby. This is an excuse to finally talk about these things like Wonderful Idea, because I've wanted to talk about especially WI so bad for ages. That server is where I met most of my friends, but the online friends, but that's off topic. Now, I'm not going to go over what Wonderful Idea and Dusttrust are, besides that they're very prolific AUs. Oh, wait. Wonderful Idea is an alternate timeline. Why is this even here? Of course they're going to try and be canon. It's okay. It's all going to be alright. That was stupid. Even if WI is an alternate timeline of Undertale, meaning that it is trying to follow the source material, it's still got held back by canon pressures. I wish I could abbreviate canon pressures, by the way, but I'll let you smart cookies figure out why I can't. Now, I don't remember what the order of operations was here, but I first want to mention the biggest example of, quote-unquote, the pressure trademark. The big Gaster retcon. As somebody who was there during WI's great Gaster retcon, man, it was ugly. I know I said I wouldn't summarize fan work, but just for clarity, WI had a 2-phased Gaster fight planned after the Sans and Asgore fight, with Gaster turning into a Photoshop Delta Gaster at the end as the true final boss. Freaky shit. Sadly, said freaky shit got cut entirely, leaving only the Sans and Asgore encounter in its wake. I can't lie, I was coping back in the day, but regardless, these commonly agreed to be cool concepts were scrapped in favor of being more, quote, canon. In addition, they also watered down Sans' cartoonishly angry expression, which has become synonymous with WI's brand, by the way, for a casual Sans expression that honestly still does not fit. This is where I must bring up an important pitfall that can come when trying to canonize our work. overcorrection. In trying to become more faithful to Undertale, Wonderful Idea lost a lot of its own identity, while not even truly being accurate if you look between the lines, as the entire concept of Sans surviving a slash and fighting harder after to begin with is just one of the most stereotypically fanon things ever. This ultimately makes the modern version of the story surrounding the final battle very confusing. Again, WI is still known for that angry-ass Sans with a toilet bowl swirly eye, and many people typically depict him as such to this day. Trying to be canon is one of the many reasons Wonderful Idea ultimately lost momentum in the fan base from what I can tell. I mean, just look at the original OST video. Look how many views it got compared to the polished 10th anniversary recent re-uploads. This fall off needs to be study, Case. Hi, Case. I haven't talked to you in ages. Man. This is not the dog. I just actually thought WI. But, man, makes me sad. No. I truly want to emphasize that it would be grossly inaccurate of me to say that WI lost all of its momentum solely because of this hyper-canonization movement. I mean, like, seriously grossly. Pretty gross. Gross as an income before taxes. Gnarly stuff really caused WI's downfall that I don't want to get into for my own sanity, but this overcorrection of, I guess, canonization is undoubtedly something that worked against the project's favor. Thus, overcorrection in the canon department can be a huge issue that can turn passion projects into less identifiable passion projects, I guess. I pray that makes sense. I think the, well, this stinks sums this up pretty well with just how wrong it is. In an attempt to, quote-unquote, fix the fanon crying tears in the rain Sans on the right, a painful overcorrection was made on the left, stripping Sans of his recognizable personality. You better believe I'm glad we started making fun of this meme this year, dude. God almighty. Now, I want to get into Dusttrust. I am positive you all know about Dusttrust. I get there are a lot of us Delta gens watching, but still, there's just no way. It feels wrong for you guys to not have at least heard of Dusttrust. Dusttrust actually stemmed from Disbelief hype, so this does connect back to our jumping off point from the beginning. Actually, there's pre-leak Dusttrust right there. That makes my job easy. It's right there in the picture. Cool. Unlike Wonderful Idea, Dusttrust fell into the pit of overcorrection, but it was able to claw its way back out better than ever. Dusttrust began with the legacy version, which looked like this. Basically just all the hyper fan-made Sans music videos stemmed from Phase 5 of the old Dusttrust, and after a few minor reboots, Dusttrust eventually entered the, quote, pre-leak era, dubbed such because it was actually leaked. As the name implies. Shocking. This pre-leak era was a lot of people's favorite time to be a Dusttrust fan, myself included. Yet, due to the controversy then surrounding the AU and accompanying work-in-progress game, the AU's wobbly direction reflected its state. Ownership changed hands a ton, and visions changed with them. The most stark change within my memory, and the one that started the canonization correction, was Nickolas' take. If I remember correctly, this version removed Sans' iconic multicolored eyes, and they removed Papyrus showing up a la Disbelief backbone. This warranted a lot of mixed reception, but unlike Wonderful Idea, I think they actually caught on to what they had to do to get themselves out of that rut. During this time, an official pre-leak game was also in production, and it received tons of attention as that style of Dusttrust content always had. I think the team realized this and began to course-correct their course correction with Dillywolf's take, which brought back Papyrus in lieu of the now popular art of the Papyrus encounter. People ate this up. I think 250,000 plays on SoundCloud speaks for itself when I say Dusttrust was going back in the right direction. This finally culminates in today with Dusttrust X, which is the most modern official Dusttrust thing, which has fully embraced what made Dusttrust Dusttrust. Team is now using their updated skills to make Dusttrust as wholly Dusttrust-like as possible, making it more similar to the old quote-unquote super fanon version, which I don't know why I said quote-unquote, it is super fanon, but it's okay that it was, because that was what the project's original vision had in mind, and this new variation has been received insanely well. Dusttrust X, to my knowledge, is still going strong. To tell you all the truth, I haven't kept up as of late. If it's been cancelled, then shame on me, but I don't think it has. I'm pretty sure they're cooking. My point with Dusttrust is that stressing over being, quote, canon can hold back your creativity in our community if your project wasn't originally molded to be canon. Of course, there are ways to course correct well if you so choose. If your vision has so dramatically changed, then yes, you can. And if I told you what to make and how to make it, I would be a big dumb hypocrite. But if you have to stress over the canonization of your project, then it shouldn't be something you're worried about. Make what you want to make and make what is fun. Now, this isn't in the script. I'm fully freeballing here, but my friend Capo, who's actually not a clown anymore, comment down below, redeemed Capo. He's redeemed himself for this one. He's not a clown anymore. He brought up Undertale Yellow, and I think that's a wonderful way to end this off. Because Undertale Yellow, well, I love the game. I love the writing, but obviously a lot of people have gripes with it. And as I mentioned earlier, those gripes stack higher and higher with the popularity of a project. More eyes, more mouths, that type of thing. Obviously, Undertale Yellow is trying to be a prequel, but since it's a fan-made prequel, it's inherently inaccurate to Undertale. Yellow has had a lot of people complaining, not even complaining, I don't want to say that, because again, people can have criticisms. People have been nitpicking, I suppose, in a neutral way, nitpicking when comparing it to Undertale. They point out a lot of inaccuracies, but at the end of the day, this is a fan-made prequel, but they've embraced that. They never tried to do the overcorrection thing. If they just released the game, let it ride, and honestly, I respect it. This also works. Could just ignore it. Like, unlike Dusttrust, just avoid the pitfalls altogether, if you would so choose. But again, just make whatever you want to make. Make what is fun. In conclusion, my take on the whole Undertale fan game canonicity debate is that you should do exactly that. Just make whatever makes you happy. I actually thought of this video way before the Undertale 10th anniversary livestream was even announced, but what Fox said at the end of the show truly represents my point.
I mean, I don't know if people are even still doing any of that stuff, but it's good when people are creative.
It's good when people are creative. Cinema. It's that easy, ain't it? It's really just that easy. I could have just said that instead of making an entire video about this point, honestly. It just sums it up so beautifully. Who knew that Toby Fox had such a way with words, guys? Who knew the writer could write? Pow! Make whatever you want, man. Stretch those creative bones, get your artsy-fartsy juices flowing. So, to any creatives out there feeling those canon pressures I described earlier because of pictures like this one, just start making, man. Like, I'm serious, just start making. Go out there, get at it. And I don't mean that to rush you, but just take a jab at it. Whatever you want to do, just take a quick little stab at it. That's the point of Fanworks. After all, it's in the name. I'll let Ferb, the fan, explain this one. What Ferb is saying is, if we all force ourselves to create things as close to Undertale's canon as possible, then what's the point of it being a fan work? Again, I must stress that I'm only saying this is the case if we feel forced to create those types of works, not if we want to. Cannot stress that enough. I keep on saying that, but the point is, make whatever the hell you want, team. So, Disbelief, Papyrus, you're alright, man. Give me a big ol' hug, brother. Come here. Oh, yeah, you're okay. You're home now. And so are all of you, because we're done here. Thanks for watching, team. As per usual, make sure to subscribe for more. Make sure to join the Discord, and make sure to consider supporting me for $2.99 with channel memberships for shoutouts. Thanks for the support on that Chapter 1 fandom history video, too. Holy shit. It does not have as many views as his aura, but it's a new goddamn record for me. 55K in less than 2 days as of recording this. 55K views, not dollars. Oh, that'd be crazy. I mean, it is crazy, regardless. Thank you. Trust me, I've read your comments. I really do want to make a Chapter 2 fandom history installment, but that would just be nigh impossible with my time constraints right now. That would take so long, but maybe it would be feasible as a multi-part series. Let me know if you'd like to see some of that, because I honestly have no clue what to do. I don't know. Like, honestly, comment down below how you'd want it to be structured too. If you want it to be by year or by event or something. Like, thinking about this feels like lesson planning for AP US history with all the different time periods, like all the sub-time periods, time periods. So y'all gotta help me out here too. Wait, hold on. Before we break, though, we need to have a little bit of a quick Rubes 70 digest here. So, first things first, follow my friend's Instagram account, The Vengeance Project. It's a devlog for this game that's not in development yet, but it still counts as a devlog, I believe. This is kind of my friend just throwing ideas at the wall, seeing what he likes before he starts doing things himself, or maybe if you'd so be kind to reach out to him, maybe he wants you guys to help him. That'd be pretty freaking sweet. So Instagram, go follow The Vengeance Project. That would do my friend a huge favor. And also, I completely forgot until today that I have a business email. Here it is. It's also in my channel description. I want to start doing weekly fan mail things, because that'd be kind of freaking cool. And to Mangle Nightmare for this week, I am so sorry for not getting to your email from August 4th until genuinely today, October 16th as of recording this. But, yeah, I didn't have this email linked to my phone, so I never got notifications. And also, I got an email from the game that Creeps20 made a fucking slop video about Operation Octo. They gave me a key for Operation Octo. I mean, the game's been out for like a month now. I guess they wanted me to review it because they saw my old PvZ videos. But I wish I'd known that. I mean, actually, I still have the key, so I could play it. Let me know if you guys want to see fucking Operation Octo, I guess. So I have a free copy. But anyway, Mangle Nightmare's mail. Hello. Just wanted to let you know that I really enjoy your videos. They are always enjoyable to watch, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. By the way, have you heard of the 12-slot Saloon, Musestruck, and Astromeda? They are indie games, just demos, but very promising, and also inspired by Deltarune/Undertale. Best is definitely the 12-slot Saloon. It's about a cat that can manipulate time via save slots to solve puzzles, alter the story, and change the fates of the people within the land without happy endings. Well, yeah, thanks for the support, man. I already emailed you back, but seriously, thank you. You know, kind of glazing here, but just thank you. And also, I can't say I've heard of any of these games, but I will real quick check them out, more than likely. Just look at the store page. I can't lie to you, if they cost money, it might not be in the cards. Actually, it is in the cards, because I made fucking bank off that last video. I'm just going to tell you guys, I made bank. So you know what? I'll see if I want to check out one of them. Yeah. Thanks for the mail, Mangle Nightmare. Mike, close the mailbox. Back to what I recorded days ago. Anywhoosies, subscribe, Discord, memberships, find it. Sayonara.